What happens when numbers meet nuance and logic gives way to colors? When the canvas is a reflection of not the world outside but of the world within. In a life shaped by dualities, he chose not to pick a side but to blend it and make it entirely his own. Today we enter the mind of a creator who lets the painting paint itself. I, Shradha, would like to welcome Dr. Silajit Ghosh to this short podcast by Studio Aurum. A very, very warm welcome to you, sir. So, I would like to directly dive into your journey and quoting you that painting paints itself. So, how would you describe the surrendering of oneself into art?
Actually, your question depends on a very universal fact that when all of us, in fact, everything in universe was created about 14 billion years back, everything what we can perceive with our sensory organs was created out of a tiny small speck, and through an act called the Big Bang, as stated by the scientists, this happened about 14 billion years ago, and this entire universe, which included each and everything, all the living beings, all the animate and inanimate objects, all the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, finally culminating to the evolving of this human species, everything came out of a singularity. This is very much beyond our imagination. How such a vast universe can come or created out of a very small speck. But science is these days always continuously searching the answer of this question, and to some extent it has become successful, at least to the fact that while back calculating the events which are happening in the outer cosmos and the entire universe, that they have calculated that exactly for this time period, this 14 billion of years ago, this entire universe was in a speck. So from there itself, I should say, my process of painting originates. Now, you may ask that, what is the link? Now let's come directly to my process of painting. Say, to paint a painting, what are the elements that are needed? A paper or a canvas, some colors, then to apply that color onto the paper or the canvas, we use a brush or pen or a pencil or spatula, with which with which we spread the colors. And finally, one element called the human body, the body of the artist. Now everything else we can understand. The paper is coming out of the paper mill, the pencil is manufactured in the factory. But to manufacture the artist, even just the body of this artist, it took 14 billion years for the universe to develop the level of intellect of a human being with which he creates art. So that is the basic process.
Correct. And to go deeper into your journey, you started your career with the CA, you are also cost accountant, and then you developed interest in engineering, then you went on to become an edupreneur, and then finally you landed up being an artist. What was the journey like? What was the experience like for you,
Yeah.
and how did your life take this turn?
Yeah, very, very interesting question. Uh, this is the answer of this is very much apparent from my paintings itself. In my paintings, my endeavor is always to let the flow of colors play on themselves. It should be just an organic process. And just looking at any of my paintings, the impression that the viewer must get that actually the artist is totally absent there. The colors, they jumped onto the surface of the paper or the canvas, and they have played among themselves on their own, organically, spontaneously, with their vibrancy and vigor.
The painting is talking to the viewer itself.
Yeah. And there is an anecdote over here. I don't like very much to sign at the corner of my paintings.
That's
But-
unusual.
Yeah, because normally it's an accepted thing that for a great work of art, the artist generally signs at the
Correct.
bottom right hand
Correct.
corner. But I thought, when my basic notion is that I am not painting at all, it's happening just as universe was born, just as a part of that continuous process. Finally, even up to the event of my creating this painting, is getting on its own with its own flow and own circumstances. There, who am I to declare that I am a painter? And why should I have any reason just to sign? Just to declare that a human being named such and such have painted this? No, it's the process. It's getting on its own, and the flow of creation is getting on its own. The cosmic mind, or the universal mind, so to say, initially it was the intention of that bigger mind. As such, any and everything, whichever thing is created, is first perceived in a mind space. So, in the mind space of the universe, it was designed that something beautiful had to be created. So, the nature, the universal energy, they created this universe, the paper, the color, the brush, and the artist, and it painted on its own. So, beauty got expressed on its own. Then who am I to just sign at the below? And another way of looking at it, say when I paint a bigger painting, say 6 feet by 6 feet, another stream of thought which plays within myself is that when I have done such a big signature, then again I have to put something to let people know, okay, it's mine. I don't see any use of it.
And then how basically your life turned into this? Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had a very successful career as a finance person also.
Yeah. Actually, when I was a very little child, naturally people used to give the child a piece of toy and something like that. But my fellow seniors, they observed this trait in me, which was, whenever I got some toy or any gift, I enjoyed and played it with for 2-3 minutes, and then my obvious tendency was to break it up. Just break it up and find out what is within. And this very tendency and notion worked all through, even in the process of my painting. What do we do when we paint? What would try to express through a painting? To elucidate that, I can say that each and every moment, every one of us is trying to express something. for the well-being of one's own self and his fellow people. So something or the other is generating at the very root subconscious level within us, and gradually that notion, that impression is coming up to our conscious levels of mind and finally getting expressed through the avenues, various avenues of expression. We write, we read, we create poetry, we enact a drama, we create a movie, a good cinema. So all these streams of expression are finally, it was originally an expression which conjured up from the deeper subconscious level of ours. And my intention, just like in my childhood of breaking that toy, I wanted to go deeper and deeper to the most root level of each and every impression or expression that is swelling up from within ourselves. And gradually found while practicing art that these emotions, expressions can be expressed best when I use the colors with its total purity and rawness, without mixing any white or black to create a shade or a tint. I always liked to use raw and vibrant colors, and I have found that when I let these raw flow of colors mingle between themselves, that can express the very inner impressions that come out of mind most appropriately.
And I think that is the reason you were drawn and attracted to abstract expressionism.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to explore and it doesn't
Right.
put you within the boundaries.
Right. So, say, just for example, whenever I use the color of red, this color of red, whenever we see that, at the subconscious levels of our mind, all the big things that are of red in color comes into our mind. So what are the major things? Say, color of a flower. The color of our blood is red. Now, say a very delicious piece of food, say a cake or a chocolate topped with red decorations. So these things attract our mind. But at the same time, you will observe that in general paintings, the color of red is used very minimally because it's a very strong color. You see, this pattern is also followed in nature. Throughout our life, you just try to just assimilate what you have seen. In generally, you keep on seeing vast blue sky.
Greens and blues.
And greens and blues that you see most. Okay. So if you try to just recapitulate, but you see red very little.
Correct.
So red is signified as the great accentuator of emotions. So red has to be used very sparsely and very calculatively to bring out that emotion among all the colors. So that has to be there. I should say there are no other paintings which is totally red. The entire space is filled with red, and then again to have differentiating effects in a full red painting, the tinges of blue and green, they also come complementary. So each color and each pure color has its own language, has its own expressions, and these expressions, I can take up an analogy. Say you have gone to see a drama on the stage. Now just imagine very big world-renowned 4-5 actors. They are just standing on the stage, and you have been told to direct them to make a play. Now you will be thinking, oh, they are such great actors as such on their own right. What to direct them? So just like that, I just let the very bright big colors, say red and blue and yellow and green, play as a very big actors on the stage of my canvas, and they converse and act and do the play on themselves. I'm just the spectator.
কি সুন্দর কথাটা বলেছেন আপনি। Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
that's a way of looking at it.
And about your journey as an edupreneur,
Yeah.
how does that feel?
Yeah.
And what is your vision? Would you like to introduce art in a different manner to these students as an edupreneur, or maybe you would like to bring about any change in the teaching methods, anything that you feel there is a scope of a change and improvement in our current scenario?
So here I would like to quote or take up the case of a very basic tendency, that is to love. So when you love anything very dearly, nothing in this universe can detract you from doing anything whatsoever, but that does not allow you to forget your love. If you have the feeling of love at the innermost core of your heart, that will automatically come out of you. I just tried it as an experiment. I went into very diverse and diametrically opposite types of actions and things, which is opposite to art. Say, dealing with hardcore money matters and issues of economics, which I confronted while going through my chartered accountancy things and all these things. I was just immersing myself into an experiment, that whether those sort of opposite forces, can it detract my art? Can it lower my quality of art? No. I found that the more the facets I included in the genre of my activities, my art flourished more and more.
Wow.
So it was an experiment. And the very other prominent reason that I went into other types of activities also, because while looking at my paintings, you will find that and which guides and which compels me to do my very the own process of mine doing a painting is very spontaneous. Now to do a spontaneous and organically growing thing, your mind has to be very much in play, rather than you think that okay, I will do this straight line, that will be this far, and when I am going to copy a physical object, then its size, its proportion has to be maintained. Now these are just physical things. You have to sometimes overthink. But again, I tried consciously to go against this notion of overthinking. Everything should come out in a flow. In fact, it's universally for my smaller size of paintings, be it 6 inches by 6 inches, even up to 6 feet by 6 feet, they just come out within a span of 15-20 minutes.
But how did you really train your mind to listen to the voice inside? Because we have a lot of distraction, we have other artists in our community, to compete with, and among all that noise, to listen what your body is making you do and to listen to your subconscious mind. How did that happen?
Just recapitulate. I have already given you the clue. It's not me. Did the universe sat and thought that I am creating this bird and it will fly? It flies. Did the nature think, okay, I will be putting a fish into the water, then it will swim? No, it's just a spontaneous activity. So you have to, the basic notion, myself and the universe and the nature, one basic notion all of us have, that we want to beautify, to create something new. And I have to trust that basic notion. Okay, whatever I do on my piece of paper and with the colors and on the canvas, something good will come out. Even some of the paintings, I even don't look at them. It may be sounding very, very ridiculous, but at some points of time,
Yeah, because we're very critical about our own work.
Yeah, I am totally in a trance. Even I am not conscious whether my eyes are being kept open or not. Even so, it's going
I
on
think that is an exceptional quality to have.
And people will say about this that, oh, that's an accident. When you are, say, you are driving in car with your eyes shut, then just to avoid accident is a great thing. But if you have the trust while doing it, then whether you are keeping your eyes open or not does not matter. If you have the faith on yourself, if you have the idea that whatever you create will be a beauty, it cannot be an accident. And if I take that, okay, that's just an accident. So in my case, 99% of the accidents come out as a good art.
That's
what
beautiful.
To ask for more?
That's beautiful. And talking about your period of solitude, the time you took off for introspection, how did that help? What did you discover in that process?
That is the great question. Because during those periods of solitude and even keeping off from the act of painting, my mind goes on deeper and deeper, and it builds up the relation more and more with the deeper and more deep sections of my mind, so that I am very much acquainted with the ways of thinking, with the ways of working of my subconscious mind. So when an impression or expression comes out from those innermost deeper levels, they can be translated without any difficulty. They go straight away, get translated into the expression of a painting.
Wow. And sir, coming to your work, you have authored a book called Quest Within.
Yeah.
And would you like to throw some light on that and about your upcoming projects?
Yeah, sure. In fact, before my last big solo exhibition, which was held at Calcutta, that was held at Harrington Arts Centre in Kolkata. So prior to that, I had a sort of period of hibernation for about 11 years. I did not show publicly during that whole time. I was drawing, I was sketching with small things and all, but I was doing that inner searching. And that's why the name of the book itself, you can see that its name is The Quest Within. I was going deep into myself and searching what to get out and in the best manner, how to express it. So I was searching for that. And when this actual physically creative period started, within a span of that my last solo exhibition had 160 pieces. Generally a solo exhibition contains about 40, 50, 60 works. So across the sizes and formats, it had 160. And to create, whenever I actually paint and draw, I am a bit prolific. So as everything comes out almost automatically, so it came out as such. Within a period of 8 and 9 months, I did the entire work for that my first that exhibition after my sabbatical, or you can say dormant period of 11 years. It came out as such, and within the period span of 7-8 months, I produced the entire work, and it's there. Now, taking from that, I went to the International Dubai Art Fair just a few months back in the month of April, and there also I had a very, very good response, and one of the most prominent galleries of Dubai, they have contracted with me for my solo exhibition for consecutive 3 years. So during this year, starting mid-November to mid-December, I will be having my solo show there, spanning 1 month, and that will be repeated for the coming 2 years also. So these are the bigger projects now that I am taking up. And obviously, within this year itself, I will be participating in another 11, 12 prominent group show with my fellow artists and colleagues.
Thank you so much, sir. This was very enlightening, very insightful, and I'm sure the listeners will not just be walking away with the information and about art and about surrendering themselves, but with a curiosity to dive within themselves deeper. So thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you, and I'm just grateful for all the wisdom that you have shared with us today.
I am also very much grateful to the organizers of this great event, the Mystic Conclave, of which my just now currently going on art show is a part of. That's called Namami Gange art show. There also I am displaying 12 of my paintings, just about assimilating all the factors and facets and issues that I have dealt just now. So I am also grateful to the organization Bharat Nirman Foundation for inviting me for this great event.
Thank you so much, sir. Just to conclude, sir, can you give us just a small message for all the artists out there?
It's just a single word. Love.
Beautiful.
Love yourself, and that will lead you to produce the loveliest things. Just love unconditionally.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.